Hello and welcome back to another episode of White Album 2. We are playing through the closing chapter on Chiaki's route. We've finally made it past the entire stage performance. Chiaki fainted pretty much directly after, and at 1 a.m. decided to try and chase down Haruki and ended up crying, or bawling I should say, on the side of the road. Haruki says he abandoned Setsuna to come get her. And now here we are at the flashback.
そんなに驚くほどのことかな。このくらい女の子だったらペロリだよ。
この寒さじゃなかったらな。
An empty parfait glass is in front of me. While I'd completely lost interest in my coffee the moment it turned tepid, Setsuna thoroughly enjoyed her order of ice cream.
最近友達とお店に入るときによく頼んでたら、なんだか癖になっちゃってね。
I can't properly discern anything from the expression Setsuna made when she muttered that.
来るかな。
Incredible that she can still refer to Chiaki as a friend.
曇りで夜になって時々雪。天気予報を信じるならだけど。
なかなか暖かくなんないね。
2月いっぱいはこんなものじゃないかな。
じゃあ明日から急に暖かくなるのかな。
寒気団が時間に正確な。
春樹くんみたいに。
俺なら1日前には引き上げる。今日からもう暖かくなってるよ。
らしいね。
くだらないけどな。
本当にくだらない。
As silly as this might be, we're not bored by it. We're not feeling bored, even though we're only talking about the weather. If anything, we're happy to be able to have such a boring conversation. It's already been 3 hours since I met up with Setsuna this afternoon. Time has passed miraculously smoothly between us. Although my body feels cold, I'm slowly regaining the warmth in my heart. If I can act like nothing happened and just go back to our usual days.
この後何か予定あるの？
なんでもないよ。
I hide both of my hands under the table. What am I doing? Why am I looking at my watch while I'm spending time with Setsuna? I'm not supposed to have any plans for later. There's no reason for me to be worrying about the time today. Isn't that right?
今日誘ってくれてありがとう。久しぶりに春樹くんの顔を見ることができて嬉しかった。
俺も会いたかったから。
気が合うね、私たち。
However, Setsuna continues talking to me in her usual manner, not noticing my frivolous movements. Well, I mean, Setsuna's more observant than you give her credit for. She hasn't spoken a word about what happened that night. I'm not sure if she's forgotten or if she's just being considerate of me. If I were to take it a step further and invite her to dinner after this, would Setsuna be bothered by my invitation? Or would she instead smile as easily as she is now, then ask me, "Why do you need to ask me about something like that at this point?" while nodding, as if it were the most natural thing in the world.
せつな。
何？
No, that's not it. I need to make up my mind. Both of us are fully aware of that. That's why we're able to spend time together like this right now, peacefully and uneventfully. I'm sure that if I were to run away without another word, Setsuna would be ready to accept that it would mean absolutely nothing at all. And she must believe that I'm not the kind of person who'd allow himself to make use of such a convenient lapse in memory to run away. That's why I just can't betray the faith that Setsuna has in me.
二人きりで会うの。これで最後にしよう。
Ouch. Which is why I have no choice but to betray Setsuna. Ooh, that's so sudden. That's so sudden. as if the cold from outside had seeped into the cafe, time froze still between us.
あいつには俺がついていなくちゃとかじゃない。刹那は俺がいなくても大丈夫なんて思ってない。
However, I forced my numb lips open to speak.
あいつにはこれからも振り回されるかもしれない。また裏切られるかもしれない。何度も痛い目を見ると思う。
My words come out like icy blades, leaving wounds all over my mouth.
けどさ、それでも裏切るより楽なんだ。刹那といるよりも辛くないんだ。
Oh man. I mean, it's true, and I agree with him, but that is so painful. I'm so glad. I'm so proud of him for saying it, because it is painful for him to be with Setsuna no matter what anybody says. And I know there are routes where he's better with Setsuna, but as far as this route goes, just focusing on this route, he is so sad whenever he's with Setsuna. He cannot stop thinking about the past. And so yes, good to move on, good to have this talk. And they proceed to tear Setsuna into shreds.
だって俺が立ち直りさえすれば済む話なんだから。
Our surroundings fall into absolute silence the moment I stop talking. Setsuna's staring at me without a word, and I can't tell what thoughts lie behind her expression at all. And I'm sure she's desperately trying to keep it that way. Nevertheless, she seems to have no intention of interrupting me or objecting to what I just said.
俺はもう刹那を傷つけたくない。だって自分に癒せない傷が刻まれるから。
And so, I callously continue to hurt Setsuna and recite words meant to tear the two of us apart.
とんでもないエゴだって自覚してる。でも俺はその自分勝手な理屈を改めない。
Because this is the last time I'll have to do it.
こんなバカな決断ができるのはさ、もちろん刹那のことだけじゃなくてさ。
千秋さん。
そうだよ。あいつが好きだからだよ。
It's precisely because this will be the last time I have to do it that I'm inflicting Setsuna with the gravest wound possible. That's so hard, but you can't just keep like half rejecting people, which is what they've been doing on and off for years. So, as painful as it is.
騙されたけど、傷つけられたけど、ひどい女だったけど、それでもあいつと過ごした瞬間は辛くなかったんだ。ずっと続いてほしい時間だって思ったんだ。
And in doing so, my entire body is stained in red. Though I no longer know if the blood that's been spilled is Setsuna's or mine. At last, Setsuna opens her mouth. Though the words that followed were meant neither to curse me nor to express regret at what I just said.
ほら、できたよ。
On the tip of her tongue, there's a knot she made from the stem of the cherry that came with her parfait. It's a very tight knot.
ねえ、春樹くん。
And I'm sure that I'll never be able to understand the meaning behind that gesture, no matter how much time passes.
千秋さんの芝居、見に行こうか。まだ開演時間に間に合うよ。
知ってたのか。
彼女の本当の気持ち、確かめに行こうよ。
Oh, Setsuna. She's just incredible. Chiaki is hugging her own shoulders. She's tightly clinging onto the coat that I've given her.
立てよ。
どうして？
このままじゃ抱きしめられないから。 何がおかしいんだよ。
騙されてやんの。春樹、また騙されてやんの。
Just like that, Chiaki starts ridiculing me, as she usually does. But her hands, stuck to the ground, are still shaking. She desperately straightens her elbows while getting up on one knee and gritting her teeth, causing her to spill even more tears. As her hands finally break away from the ground, she places them on her knees to support herself and force her exhausted body to stand up, only to fall back to her knees again after running out of strength.
Chiaki.
Unable to keep watching her like this, I attempt to lift her up with my arms, but Chiaki rejects me with a loud voice that strains her body to its limits.
でも辛いんだろ。
当たり前だろ。こんなに体が動かないの生まれて初めてだ。
だから俺が。
春樹が自分で立てって言ったんじゃないか。だったら全部許してやるって。
言ってねえよ。
それでも我慢して立つんだ。だからさ。
そんな簡単に許すわけないだろ。
だからしっかり抱きしめて。
Chiaki stood up, using her own strength. But the next moment, she ran out of strength and collapsed into my arms. Aww.
泣きたいのは俺の方だ。
Yeah, for real. Wow. You put him through so much. Chiaki finally stood up because she believed that she would be rewarded by me. So I respond by embracing her with all of my strength.
おう、よしよし。
I know she's being vague with me here, but I find myself accepting her immature behavior right now. I'm an idiot. I'm an even bigger idiot than she is. I'm not gonna argue with him on that one. But I just can't help it. After all, she kept our promise. She showed me a Chiaki that I can believe in. Oh my god. That's so good. That was so good. Good writing, very good writing. Well, more precisely, I should be saying that she's shown me a Yukine that I can believe in.
春樹、私じゃ立たないんじゃなかったの？どうしてこんなに硬くて熱いの？
こんな時にそんなとこ触んの？
体がついてこないだけで心が欲情しまくってんだよ。
だからってお前、さっきのキスシーン本当にしたりとか。
春樹が嫉妬に狂って私にキスするまで教えてあげる。
It's been snowing all along. Although the date has changed and it's supposed to be March now, cold, delicate, and powdery snow has continued to descend upon us from the sky above with a flutter. And yet, even though it's so cold, Chiaki's lips feel so hot they could burn me. Setsuna, it's always the snow. I know it's the theme of the game, but like, dang.
やっと降ってきたな。
なんだかさ、私たちの分岐点にはいつも降ってるよね。
せつな。
すごかったね、千秋さん。私はあんなにかっこよくなれない。あそこまで強くなれなかった。
その代わりものすごくだらしないんだけどな、あいつ。
私はなれなかった。春樹くんにあいつって呼ばれる女の子に。
寒
いけど春樹くんには関係ないから。
Ooh, dang, that comparison. She doesn't want your coat anymore.
だから私が寒そうにしてても肩を抱いたりコートを貸したりしないでね。
せつな。
これからは春樹くんはそばにいないんだもの。優しくされちゃ困るんだよね。可愛くないかな。みっともない意地だって思うかな。
No, it's good to really know where your places are with this.
そんなこと。
こういうところが私のダメなところ。けど私この性格と一生付き合っていくんだよ。執念深くて嫉妬深くてずっと好きな人を忘れられず、けれど許すこともできないこんな嫌な性格と。だから今無理に背伸びをするべきじゃないってそう決めたんだ。いつか私は新しく出会う人にこの気持ちをぶつけるのかもしれない。それともずっと引きずるのかもしれない。
Oh, Setsuna, you're gonna find someone who's so kind and is not going to betray you.
けれど今は私とカズサからやっと卒業しようとしてるあなたを幸せにしてあげなくちゃいけないって。それが私の最後の意地だから、プライドだから。
2番線最終電車まもなく発車します。
ねえ春樹くん、私は彼女を恨んでるよ。あなたを憎んでるよ。
Oh, that's hard. That's so hard.
だからこれは返さない。ユキネが和樹くんにピックを返さなかったように一生大事にしてみせる。
Oh. Why is that so sad?
さよなら私の。
Feels bad. We made it though. We made it to the end.
よく待ち合わせしたカフェでもいつも立ち寄ったコンビニでも
Oh, well. I'm like not over the heartbreak yet. I'm not over breaking up with Setsuna. That was so sad.
起きろ！いつまで寝てんだ。今日のゼミ発表会、司会お前だろ。
ちょっ や掃除機でなんて。
だったら早く起きろ。その後シャワー浴びて朝飯食って大学だ。
ダメだって。そんなに座れたらキスマークできちゃうって。
だから早く起きろって。
そこじゃない、もっと下。
I was gonna say they should really turn the vacuum off.
ちょっと自分の行為の変態性に危機感を持ってな。
If I just let her be, she would probably do something horribly wrong with the vacuum cleaner, with an aroused expression as well.
やだ、こんなの中途半端だよ。朝からスイッチ入っちゃったよ。
早く服着てシャワー浴びて飯食え。
その順番ってどうなの？
Hey,
やかましい。
ほんと夜が明けると常識人に早変わりなんだもんな、このヴァンパイアは。昨べは散々乙女のいろんなとこ吸いまくったくせに。
it's so perverted.
ヴァンパイアは処女の生き地にしか興味ない。
自分で眷属にしといてよく言うよ。
そういうエロ話はもういいから。それよりお前、今年も出席日数やばいんだからさ。
卒業はしなくても別にいいんだって。私の進む道に大切な肩書きは必要ないんだから。
またそれだよ。
We've been living together for half a year now. I'm still incapable of bringing about a change in her personality, as embarrassing as it is to admit it. Her seminar attendance and research paper submissions only barely afford her a pass, too. All she does at home is sleep, and she leaves all the house chores to me. She's like a stray cat that's lost its wildness and would immediately huddle onto my chest and knees.
いつか有名になって春樹を楽させてあげるからね。
そんな紐の世まい事を信じるほど俺は夢見がちな生き遅れじゃないの。
She barely worked for Watos recently as well. Instead, she went to apply to other major troupes.
どうせ有名になったら面倒見てくれた男はぽいだろ。で、2枚目俳優とかと週刊誌で噂になってさ。
何言ってんの。私春樹に面倒を見てもらわなきゃろくろく生きていけないんだよ。
A very selfish thing to say, but very much like Chiaki.
もっと自立しろ。お前最近本気でパラサイトが板についてきてんじゃないか。
だからあと3年の辛抱だって。そしたら今度は私が春樹を依存させてあげるからね。
俺はそんなあやふやな夢になんか頼らないの。ちゃんと就職も決まったし、自活もできるし、何があっても一人で生きていけるように。
ああ、そこ。とりあえず2人分頼みます。
お前もそうやって夢ばっかり追ってないで、もうちょっと現実的な生きる道をだな。
You can't tell that to an actress.
この前のオーディション最終選考に残ったよ。100人受けたうちの2人。
Her ability is what's worrying me. She easily manages to blow away my arguments based on common sense every single time.
だからご褒美。
分かったよ。俺
I move my lips over stubbornly, but even so, Chiaki happily accepts it.
ねえ春樹。
なんだよ。
And then she buries her face into my chest.
私のこと愛してるよね。
今のところはな。
She presses both of her hands onto my own. This kind of promise is something that I can never get away with.
3年後も。
そんなのはお前の心がけ次第だ。
We've agreed on a limit of only doing it once per day. But if we both agree to it, then the limit can be ignored. Well, obviously, you should never do it if only one of you agree to it. Even so, our promise still continues.
じゃあそういうお前はさ。
私昨べ正直に言ったじゃん。春樹が背中越しに両手でおっぱい揉みまくってた時にさ。
おい、
あれが約束通り 私の心からの真実だよ。いや恥ずかしかったな。もう
そんなの手のひらの感覚に夢中で覚えてるわけないだろ。なんて言ったんだ？もう一度言ってみろよ。
だったら同じことしてみたら。
But in the end, ever since that day, I would always find myself completely succumbing to Chiaki's coup de grace. After all, I can never actually win against her when she retorts to tactics like these.
ね、ハルキ。
なんだよ。
私があんたを幸せにしてあげる。いつか必ずお前と一緒にいてよかったって心から言わせてみせるからね。
Aww.
そんなあやふやな空手形は。
Moreover, she's only saying those words without actually acting on them.
だからそんなに頑張らなくていい。一人で苦しまなくていい。壊れるまで悩まなくていい。
千秋。
Because the cat that I decided to never abandon again confesses her feelings all of a sudden.
時間をかけて春樹を染め上げてあげるからね。思い出の傷塞がるまで。
Don't say that. She used to be a beast that was hungry for the taste of that wound and managed to reopen it numerous times.
いいんだよ。塞がなくて。
でも
I pet Chiaki's head and let out a gentle smile as she looks at me with upturned eyes after she licked the wound on my chest, in my heart.
俺はずっとこの傷と一緒に生きていくんだから。
じゃあさ、私は春樹にその傷をつけたナイフをこれからもずっと持ち続ける。
千秋。
But this cat is slowly turning into a human. Oh, progress.
私が憧れた3人、私がぶち壊した3人を忘れないために、二度とこのナイフを使わないために。
またいいセリフが思いついたとかほくそ笑んでるんだろ。
久々にワトスに顔出してみよっかな。なんかいいプロットが浮かんできたみたい。
いつか絶対に直してやる。そのねじ曲がった性格を。
頑張ってね、春樹。
はよシャワー浴びてこい。こっちはその間に掃除して洗濯して飯作って。ああ忙しい。
Oh, poor Haruki. I hope she helps him a little bit. And in the end, we reenact our usual morning. In other words, we're reenacting a spectacle that's typical of both our days and our nights. No matter how mad I get at her, and no matter how much I lecture her, Chiaki would laugh it off, give me some vague reply, and that would be the end of it. And that's not all. She's simply incapable of ceasing to mess around like a clown all the time. When I'm feeling down, when I'm feeling troubled, or when I'm feeling distressed, she always saves me with her innocent, irresponsible smile. That's exactly why I fall into unease whenever I remember the time I was trembling as I had my knees in my arms. As a result, our relationship might return to the days when I received fake treatment from Chiaki. But even so, I can't leave this trickster's side anymore. That's why I will scold, lecture, and hold on to Chiaki. I must act like I can't leave her alone, and see to it that this sloppy girl continues to rely on me, in order for her to remain by my side. It's a little bit unhealthy. I hope you guys get some therapy or something.
ねえ、春樹。本当はね、とっくに治ってるんだよ、私。あんたへの気持ちだけねじ曲がってないんだよ。だけど これからも演技を続ける。私はちっとも変わってないってずっと春樹を嘆かせてやるから。これからもずっとあんたのそばにいるために。あんたの傷の痛みを忘れさせるピエロでいるからね。だから春樹、ずっと私を叱るためにずっと私と一緒にいてね。
Oh, I'm glad they're on the same page. Finally on the same page. And that brings us to the end of Chiaki's route. Thank you so much for being with me on this incredible journey. Chiaki's route is the two parts, the ending 1 and now the true ending, ending 2. So I appreciate you being along for the ride. I'll continue doing the other side heroines as well as the main heroines. So I hope to see you next time in future videos, and I truly, genuinely hope you take care. Thanks again. See you.